taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
It was a 2-fight card. It was televised, because unfortunately, because PBC had issues with. PBC had issues with Fox, so a lot of cards on Fox, or where we actually see some prospects, especially on FS1, have not been airing. So a lot of things, like a lot of prospects that PBC have that we want to see, you'd have to be at the ready because they're not even putting them on YouTube. So it's kind of annoying. So that's the reason why we got a 2-fight card. So obviously they started off the card with doing a replay of Gervonta Davis and Rolando Rolly Romero. Now, I was not on the original cast of the when LB and was it Rome, and who else was on that one? Giving their thoughts about the
PJ.
PJ. Yeah, there you go, PJ. So it was just like, they start off with that, and Showtime does it on occasion. And I will say this: the fight was more competitive than I thought it would be. Rolly's size definitely played a part in his early success, and Tank definitely did. Tank did take some shots. He showed a good chin, but he definitely showed a ring IQ to lure Rolly into that chop, set him up for the knockout punch because Rolly had been lunging a little bit too much. He wasn't being defensively responsible, and then and he walked into basically a fight-ending shot. And the funny thing is too is Rolly you think like his face didn't even. What was weird about it, his face didn't even change, because Rolly has like this one look on his face when Tank hit him with the bomb and dude went into the ropes like Rey Mysterio was about to hit him with the 619 and shit like that. His face just looked like he usually does, although his legs told a different story. Like his legs, he was trying. His left leg was trying to figure out how to work and shit. Like he was, extending it in and out, like he was doing therapy or some shit. And then he gets up, he wobbles to the left, wobbles to the right a little bit, and his face doesn't change, and the referee saw the wobbles and waves it off. So, and of course, my dad loved that knockout. We had a good laugh about how about that knockout. So Tank obviously. Tank, obviously the people who are Tank fans love that knockout. People who hated Rolly love that knockout. In fact, anyone who probably didn't like Rolly loved that knockout. Of course, seeing it again is just like, it was a good knockout. Now, in terms of what it means to Tank's career in the long run, it's whatever. It's not. To me, if you heard me talk about Tank before, Tank needs to get. Tank needs tougher fights. Like,
can Cambosis beat Rolly? I don't think so.
Probably. It's more equal than you think it is.
That's what I'm saying. It's equal, but it's like. Cambosis really don't do nothing special, man.
Basically, if you come to him, he's scrappy and he's durable. He's scrappy and durable. And
he don't have the skills to outbox Rolly on the outside like Tank did.
Mm-hmm.
That fight is either gonna be super boring with him not doing shit, or it gets to a roughhouse fight and Rolly clips him with something.
Yeah.
But I don't see that might be a poll for later this week. Actually, fuck it.
Right, but like I said, my only wish for Tank is now that we have Haney undisputed, and now that we have Shakur, who has the Ring Magazine belt as well as 2 unified belts at 130. I just want him in more significant fights. Like it's not like the time is now. Like we can't. It's quality mid-row for him right now. He can't just be this big giant outlier in his division, not fighting nobody and not making an effort to fight anybody significant because of the whole thing. We don't know what his promotional agreement is now. Like he says one thing, but he says another thing. So I'm just gonna wait till the actions will speak louder than words on that. But yeah, like I said, it was a decent fight, and then the knockout was spectacular. Yeah, it was hilarious. And they aired that before the actual 2-fight card. They led off with David Morrell and Calvin Henderson. Yeah, this was just a pure showcase fight. Like Morrell, I will say this too. Morrell has been trying to shed the image of the Cuban fighter in his last couple of fights lately. Yeah, dude came out with fire in his eyes. Like, dude wanted to body dude in the first round. And truthfully, I'm surprised that the referee could have probably waved it off in the first round, like especially near the end of that shit. Like, I don't know what Calvin Henderson's plan was, but apparently it was going to the ropes and absorbing all types of bombs from Morrell. Like, I don't know if he was trying to wear him out, or he was trying to, or was looking for an opportunity to lull him into a counter, which he did on occasion, but they weren't like really hard counters. Like, it was just one of those things where Henderson just didn't have a play, and then Morrell wasn't affected by any of the punches coming back to him. Like, Henderson was hitting him with some things here and there, but Morrell was just like, whatever, and just continued to put the pressure on him and continued to beat his ass. And then, Henderson got busted up. Like, he was bleeding. Like, I think he started bleeding either late in the first round or the second round, and that shit he never stopped bleeding with a cut around his eye. And, he wouldn't move out of the punches. And then the knockout, when he was on the ropes, absorbing all this shit, all he had to do was just go down and take a knee, clear your fucking head. But he wouldn't do that. And he just allowed Morrell to just give him that body, heavy bag work. Like, it was just, like, you can't be complaining when the referee waves you off and you're over there taking clean fucking shots. Like, yeah, it's just like, what are you fucking doing? So,
like,
yeah, it's like
heavy bag work, man. Like, we trying to see the main event, bro.
Right. So yeah, but Morrell did what he had to do. I'm not gonna. It was set up as a showcase fight for him, and I think that from what I understand is that he had to win this fight in order to probably get a shot at David Benavidez later this year. Well, I hope. It'll be interesting because, Morrell's been looking around that WBA GameStop belt like since his second fight. So it's like, yeah, if it gets into some significant fights, I'm all for it. But yeah, they need, yeah.
I don't think Benavidez is. I don't think Morrell is ready for Benavidez yet. But if they want to put him in there with him, that'll be fun while it lasts. But I don't think he's ready just yet.
Okay. But funny things too is, size discrepancy. I don't think. Morrell's a big super.
That's the thing. He's big. He's a big. Like, he could definitely be at light heavyweight soon, but he's big.
So yeah, that's why that fight low key intrigues me a little bit, because I want to see, because they're roughly around the same size, so I want to see if Morrell can actually really do something to him. And now he's more aggressive. And David Benavidez is also aggressive. So yeah, hey, if you want to put him in there, go right ahead. I'll watch it. Like, I'll have no comments about any negative comments about that. But the main event.
But that's the thing. Like, it's not like Benavidez got any big fights on the horizon. If he ain't fighting Caleb Plant or Charlo, then give me the fucking Morrell fight. I don't have no problem with there's somebody who's calling out the boogeyman, and we might not think the guy who's doing the calling out is ready, but if he think he's ready, fuck it. Because boxing, we don't have enough people calling out the unmentionables.
No, I get that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not opposed to it. So if it happens, it happens.
Personally, I don't feel he's ready. Like, he's maybe like 2 fights away, but shit, you never know.
This is true.
That's why you fight the fight.
He out here calling he out here calling Benavidez a bitch. He's like, I'm gonna make you my bitch. So he's definitely talking the talk.
Right.
Yeah, and that's feeding the fight. You want that. I want that energy.
Right.
I want that. Oh, he a bitch? Alright then, nigga. Make him your bitch then. Fight that motherfucker. Let's go. Like, that's the energy. Like, Like, yeah, man. If you say you ready, you ready. Because look, I know people with the whole Fernando Vargas, he was fed to Trinidad, he wasn't ready. Look, the man beat Raul.
That's
Marquez.
bullshit. Yeah, that's bullshit when they say
The man
that.
beat Winky Wright. The man beat Corte. That's 3 world champions.
Right.
1 Hall of Famer.
Right.
And you know Raul Marquez is on point. You hear that motherfucker every weekend.
He beat Yuri Boy Campus. Like,
Yep, Campus too. So it's like we're talking about like world class level guys. So he was young. I'd rather see guys young go for the glory. It's just you got to know how to handle yourself, and when you get the moment, or your career could get Glenn Tapia.
Right. Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. Shit. Like,
Well, and at least with Vargas, the Glenn Tapia moment happened. After he got these victories and after he got a title. I mean,
exactly. So I give him that, but hey, I mean, man, we not in Morel's training camp, like.
We not.
So I can't say like that. It's like some people you don't know, like Wilder. Like I hate to be the guy that like I know because I've said it in the past. Like I don't trust a Wilder training camp unless I'm in that motherfucker seeing this shit with my eyes. Like that's just me. Like nope. Like if you end up like that and you have Mark Breland in your fucking corner for damn 10 years, like nah, nigga, I don't trust this new shit.
Yeah.
so that's not even the shit on dude. That's just me like just being real, like fuck it. But yeah, right. Shit.
But at least the main event though, again, on paper we're expecting like a fight of the year because Fulton had been in his last 2 fights have been rough and brutal fights, especially his last one. And Danny Roman has a long history of getting into these type of brawls, and so we were thinking that maybe we were thinking that basically we would get that type of same energy. Instead, we got like what I talked about on the preview. Like I said it before, Stephen Fulton was not always doing what he was doing. Like he wasn't going to war like he had been doing, like when he won the belt and then when he fought Figueroa. Which, by the way, that was the only thing I had to complain about with Showtime. They kept on mentioning Brandon Figueroa too damn much during the damn fight. Like it seems like you could
because it's unfinished business, bro. Like it's just like that fight. We need that run back. Like I'm sorry. Like I still think Figueroa won too, but Fulton redeemed himself with this fight.
Yeah, and I hear you on that. Like I definitely hear you. Like I agree. But it's like, but you could have made a drinking game for how many times they mentioned Brandon Figueroa's name on that shit. Like
they did. I ain't gonna lie now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And it almost was taking. It was kind of taken away from what Fulton was doing. Like now, Danny Ramon, like when he loses, like I mean, he's not a guy that you just wash. Like if you beat him, that you went through hell to beat him. Akhmadaliev went through hell to beat him.
Yeah, some people on Twitter were saying Akhmadaliev barely beat him or whatever. No, Akhmadaliev beat him. Like I mean,
it wasn't as convincing as this. So I'm sorry, it wasn't.
Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't.
It was kind of a bit of a struggle fest, if I'm being honest. Like to me, but
yeah,
struggle fest with 2 knockdowns and these niggas is going to war. What the fuck?
I mean, like it wasn't. I'm saying, like struggle fest. It wasn't as convincing. Like he struggled to make it convincing to me.
Right,
a lot of people feel Roman won.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say it was, but
it was close enough. I mean, you could probably argue a draw. I don't know if I could say Roman won, and I fucks with Roman. Like, yeah, he wasn't a guy. Yo, trust me, he wasn't a guy who looked like he won after that fucking fight.
I mean, you were there, so yeah. So, but this one, Fulton put on a clinic, and the funny thing is too is Roman was getting his shit off in the early rounds. Like I thought because he found something with the body shots and everything like that, and
he was always like 10 punches too short of winning the rounds though.
Right, yeah, and when Fulton got his jab going, like Fulton's footwork was beautiful in that fight. Like I mean, the jab was just hard and snapping, like
the lead rights.
Yeah, the lead rights, like everything. Like I mean, he was like Roman. You could tell Roman was getting frustrated because he couldn't figure out how, because he didn't have the speed to really to keep up with it.
It wasn't really the speed. I just felt like he didn't have that extra gear. Like if you notice in all his fights before, Roman, like when he gets you to the corner or he backs you up, he kind of stayed on you a little more. Like he kept taking step backs. Like he lost that aggression. Like that animal. It's kind of like watching a tamed version of a fighter.
And you're also right too, because remember, because I know, because obviously if you've seen this DAZN fights, like dude was a battler, whereas I think we noticed it too on this first fight with PBC when he fought Payano, and he looked like he kind of lost a little bit of his smoke, Yeah,
see, and even then, if you compare that to this fight, he was a little more aggressive with Payano. It's like he was throwing the extra 10 punches that he needed in this fight.
Right.
and when I say extra 10 punches, I'm talking about those momentum shift swing punches where like it's the same type of punches Danny Garcia lacked in the Errol Spence fight. It's those punches where you could back a guy up real good, like real quickly, like you might buzz him real quick, and you jab him right hand to get him to the ropes. Now you throw 2 shots, and instead of just wailing on him going crazy, you kind of just back up. Now mind you landed like maybe 60% of all these punches you just threw,
right?
But you don't have that extra gear, that extra dog, that extra gear to just turn it up a notch and really kind of Antonio Tarver, Roy Jones part 1, like fight 1 type of energy where you take over the moments where you had this nigga on the ropes,
right? And
that's what Tarver was doing. Like Roman couldn't even do that,
right? And then once Fulton was finished, and this really came into play. Like once Fulton got, I think got comfortable with beating his ass casually, Fulton started put his foot on the gas and really tried to get Roman out of there. Like you see some of them, the left hooks he was landing on, dude. He
was beating his ass. Like, and honestly, he was hurting him early in the fight with those lead rights because he was making Roman just stand like freeze up. Right,
but in the last 2 rounds too, and this is another thing too. When Roman got hurt, like he would fire back. This time Fulton was Fulton started put his foot down, started beating his ass, like landing 3 left hooks in a row, like snapping his head back. Like I honestly thought the knockout was coming, because just the way that Roman was he wasn't picking up the punches like he usually did. Like dude was just like his hands were just there, like they were up there, like he looked like he was thinking. For every second he was thinking, he was catching something to his head. It was low key sad, but at the same time you realize that this was the Fulton that I remember watching before he started going into these wars that he had been having. Like dude is an absolute well-rounded fighter, well-rounded. And the funny thing too is, like Al said, Fulton is probably one of the best conditioned fighters in boxing. Like this is like in all of boxing. Like dude's stamina in gas tank is legendary. Like any division. Like dude is a freak of nature. So and you saw and for this he did all that and he didn't look like he was. Yeah, he was like, I had to do what I had to do, and this was against Danny Roman. Like Danny Roman is not a pushover, and he made Danny Roman look like he was nothing. Like Roman couldn't even say anything. It's like, well, he was the better man. Like, what can he do? Like, but yeah, Fulton. Yeah, Fulton is that dude at 122. Like now, I mean, now they need to make the Akhmadaliyah fight. And I know he's been mentioning it too. Like he's put it out there and stuff like that. But
2 belts versus 2 belts. We need it. Undisputed.
Yeah, because I know Akhmadaliyah. I think he has a title defense later this month or whatever against and that he has a tough fight too. So yeah, like once that's done, yeah, they PBC and Golden Boy need to, or no, it's not Golden Boy, it's Eddie need to figure some shit out because that division needs. They need to wrap that division.
That'd be
up.
a dope ass fight.
Was that?
That'd be a dope ass fight.
Yeah, I would love to see it. Shit, no. I mean, I've seen Akmadaliev live before, so yeah. I mean,
And then the winner can fight Monster when he comes up to 122.
Hey, that's the plan. That is the absolute plan.
Yeah,
oh well, Monster actually wants to unify.
You get some legacy fights.
Yeah, funny thing too. Monster actually said if he beats Donaire in a couple of days, he actually wants to get the other belt from Paul Butler before he goes up to 122. So I mean, hey,
dang, I think we've had more undisputed in the past 3 years than we've had in the past 20 years. What the heck? Just realize that right now.
One thing is true, and this is something I always harped on. It's like you need to wrap up the division, and now all of a sudden, like they're actually doing it. Like that's the shit that's tripping me out. Like they're actually doing it. It's multiple divisions. Like and honestly, I'm happy too. I mean, 2022 has been a magical year so far. But with Fulton and Roman, like I said, if Fulton definitely made a case. Like I mean, don't be surprised to see him in our top 15 pound for pound list or whatever. Now, if you want to put to me, if Fulton wanted to be pound for pound top 10, then he would need to bump. To me, he would need to bump off Akmadaliev. Like he would have to beat him.
And then convincingly, because he might have to drop him 3 times.
Right.
Because Akmadaliev, he dropped Roman, and Roman, he was hurting this dude, and Roman was still coming at him. Like Fulton never even dropped dude, and it's like he tamed that nigga. So, but that's the thing. It's like you got to look at it's the Derevyanchenko effect too.
Right. Like
Roman done had fight of the years and beatings put on him before. In like competitive fights and shit. So like Fulton got him at the right time.
He did, yeah. And like I said, Danny, I
mean, we all picked him for a reason. He was the favorite,
Right.
But this is a great fight that happened though. Like,
right, yeah. We're not mad at because, like I said, because we all respected Danny. We all respected Danny Ramon. We put respect on his name, and that's where we hold his. That's where we hold his victory over him. Like the way, like I said, Akmadaliev was a close fight, depending on if you think he won, lost, or draw. But this one was not. Like Fulton, put foot to ass to him. Like so we gotta respect it.
Hell, even the Denny fight was close.
Yeah.
Like shit, like all of Danny Roman's fights be close. Like that shouldn't even be a knock on him. He's like, when y'all niggas want to call somebody the Sean Porter of their division, like this what that means, like type shit. Like, well, right. He called. I can't even say Crawford work because even Crawford struggled with Sean Porter. So this Fulton is fucking Fulton, man. Like he did his thing.
So if Akmadaliev or they get he fights Brandon Figueroa again because who said they couldn't stop mentioning. And Figueroa should have a fight coming up. I mean, they haven't announced it, but I've heard.
I mean, his brother fighting, so
yeah,
he should be fighting soon.
Yeah, Omar. Right, can't wait to see that.
Damn, we gonna see his sister though.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that's always a plus too. But
I said we not going to. She don't fuck with Omar, bro. Like, come on.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought
Pilot. Yo, Pilot's my nigga, nah. He knows. Shout outs to Pilot, man.
But that was I mean, like I said, we didn't get a fight of the year, and that's cool. But I mean, I saw a level, but I saw just like in the Haney and Kambosos fight, you saw, it was still a high level fight, and then one fighter just had it over the other one, and it wasn't boring. It was just,
it turned out more like a showcase. Like both fights were like a showcase, really.
Right, exactly.
Because one was more like a lesson showcase. The other one was more like a lesson ass whooping showcase. I was like, Haney gave you the lesson if you don't piss off the master. Like, right. You spar him when you felt like you sparred the master when he felt you was ready. So he gives you the Haney treatment. He still beats your ass. Like, you look like you got your ass whooped, but he ain't laid on you like that.
Right.
Fulton gave you the lesson, like when you're impatient and you keep asking the trainer or the master, like, yo, I'm ready. When we gonna spar? And he's like, all right, I got you. All right, He takes one drag of his goddamn Camel filtered cigarette. He beats your ass. And he don't even knock you down or anything. He gives you them Galata hands where they hurt you enough where they don't silence you, but they just weigh on you. There's levels to this shit, man. Like, God forbid he got them heavy ass pad hands.
Right.
You hope that nigga got some brittle ass hands like I do. you be getting torn apart sharply and shit. Like,
oh shit.
Oh man, but damn, great boxing, right?
Yeah, great boxing. You know, like I said, it was a decent boxing weekend. Like I said, I mean, not mad. Even the presentation may have been off on one of them, but I wasn't mad at the boxing. You know, but you know, and then obviously, you know, we have Tuesday. You know, a fight that we hope will. You know, we have expectations of being a fight of the year. You know, 5:00 in the morning on ESPN Plus. People,
I thought it was 5:30.
Oh yeah, it was 5:30. Excuse me, 5:30. You're right. They did change it. It was 5:30.
I just had to.
Is that when the card starts or the main event starts? So the card was so the main event starts around when?
I think either they said 7:30 or 8.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna be up and I'm off from work this week. So you know what? I'll get up early in the morning and watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and then obviously next weekend, I mean, just to